Like everything in the world, things go through phases. Anime is no different. From its roots starting in the 1960s to the modern industry of today, after 6 decades, anime's been around the block a time or two. But to some, things seem to be changing, and not in a good way.
Throughout the last couple years, many have raised concerns about it, citing drops in production quality, bland stories, and a lack of creativity. While some just simply brush it off as changing times, others are a little bit more concerned about it.
So what is actually happening with anime? Is it truly losing its way, or is it just going through a phase like everything else? Many people cite oversaturation as one of the major issues plaguing anime today. To better understand why, we first need to understand how anime airs exactly.
Anime follows the course of the year, with new and continuing shows airing per season like spring, summer, fall, and winter. Each season brings with it, well, new shows.
Now you think that would be refreshing, right? After a long winter comes to a close, spring is right around the corner to bring us new and exciting shows to grasp our ever so shrinking attention span again. But that's not always the case. Take the isekai genre, for example.
In 2021, very poetically as it may have it, there were 21 shows with the tag of isekai. To some, that may not sound like a lot, but if we break it down again by season, that's almost 6 isekai animes every single season. Some people don't even watch that many anime in a season, let alone an entire year. The oversaturation of genres has seemed to lead to people viewing them less, including myself. I've read from dozens of people that they just simply don't watch as many anymore due to the overwhelming number of similar shows. Now, this is pretty anecdotal evidence, but we think this still holds some water. Personally, we really don't watch that many isekai anime anymore. It almost seems like a chore to watch something that we feel we've probably already seen before. Many people claim isekai to be extremely oversaturated, but that's not the only thing they claim is being done too much.
Slice of life is also a genre that gets attention when the discussion of oversaturation comes up. You can only do so many school settings, moe shows about basically nothing, or just cute girls doing cute things. Except for us, we can actually never get enough of the slice of life genre. With just about 20 slice of life animes airing in 2022, the numbers are almost the same as isekai. With this amount of shows airing with the same genre, it's honestly easy to see how one could get burnt out or sick of seeing similar settings and shows, which could result in lower viewership from fans. But anime has been seeing a drastic increase in viewership, so it doesn't seem to be oversaturation. So what else is plaguing anime?
With the amount of shows that air every year, it's easy to see how some can be led to believe that there is a real decline in creativity. We don't mean to keep picking on isekais, but they're kind of an easy target. There seems to be a severe lack of imagination in a genre that's base foundation is rooted in imagination. I mean, what's more imaginative than being sucked into a book or getting face by a K-truck going 60 miles per hour? And instead of dying, you wake up in a fantasy dreamland as a demon king or a vending machine. We'll get to that.
You could probably hop on my anime list right now, go to the isekai tag, and go down the list of shows and spot similarities between countless shows. The strongest magician in the Demon Lord's army was a human. I became the strongest and annihilated everything with low-level spells. Chillin' in another world with my level 2 cheat powers. My instant death ability is so overpowered that no one in this world stands a You get the point. I'm not trying to rag on these shows either. They have their place, but you can kind of see the lack of creativity here, and it doesn't seem to be stopping anytime soon.
Even the plot of starting life in another world as a human is getting overdone. It almost seems like writers are just throwing ideas at the wall and seeing what sticks.
Hey, how about instead of making him a human in another world, we make him like a dragon or something?
No. This is too basic.
A weapon of some sort?
We'll keep it on the back burner, but give me more.
Hey, how about a vending machine?
You are a fucking genius.
いらっしゃいませ。なんや今の声どっからしたんや
Yeah, that's a real show. It was fun, and we both enjoyed it. But I can't say it's winning any awards.
We don't mean to keep hounding on isekai like we mentioned before, but you can see the same types of themes going on in other genres as well. Take rom-coms, for example. Romantic comedies are also notorious for this as of late. and I adore romantic comedies. We're often met with the trope of shy guy meets preppy girl who's out of his league, loner MC somehow finds himself in a harem. The list could pretty much go on. That isn't to say there aren't ways to make these tropes creative though. The Danger's in My Heart, Bottom Tier Tomozaki-kun, Cafe Terrace and its Goddesses, Quintessential Quintuplets, etc. These shows manage to use common tropes while simultaneously making them original and creative at the same time. So the problem doesn't really seem to be anime tropes. I mean, they're tropes because they've been around for so long. It does seem to be a lack of creativity as a whole for some shows. But maybe there's something else.
As we mentioned earlier, some people claim that anime is changing. But what if it's not anime that's changing, but the fans? Within the last 4 to 5 years, we've seen a drastic rise in anime-related mediums. Things like mobile games, webtoons, and the largest of them all, VTubers. I still remember the day that Hololive debuted their English branch. The year was 2020, and little did we anticipate the tidal wave of popularity that these 5 goobers would have on the VTubing community, and communities outside this space as well. No longer did people need to wait for episodes to air. They could get their anime fix on other platforms basically whenever they wanted. And in a lot of cases, they could interact with them too, adding a whole new level to the experience.
Bored on your commute and need a little pick-me-up? Hop on Azur Lane for a bit and do some grinding. Because there's a new event going around and your favorite ship girl has a new skin. What are you doing?
Enterprise has a new skin.
Mobile games are even getting their own animes.
Azur Lane, Girls Frontline, Blue Archive. I wouldn't be surprised in the slightest if Nikkei even ends up getting its own anime in the near future. The fact of the matter is, people are shifting towards new forms of anime media. That's not to say that people are watching less anime. I mean, these games and VTubers probably get countless new people to start watching anime. There seems to be a change in the status quo, and to some, that can be a scary thing. Anime has been something that brings comfort and joy to countless people over many, many years. And to see that shift in a way can definitely cause concern for those who have been in the community for a long time.
Now, we probably haven't been watching anime for as long as some of you viewers have. I began seriously watching anime in 2018 and Anthony in late 2019, so it really hasn't been that long for us. But what I think we can say we have noticed a change in is the occurrence of quality problems in the industry. And there's definitely reasons behind the scenes as to what's going on, and they're not good. They're very bad.
So we've covered a few things that the anime community seems to be struggling with. Creativity, originality, audience diversification, and while not all of them seem to be bad, there is one that is having undeniably negative effects. The treatment of staff members.
So many people know Japan is pretty notorious for having a toxic work environment. You can find countless videos about it on YouTube, so to some, this may not come as a surprise. But the effects that it's starting to have on the anime industry is beginning to show its very ugly teeth. Let's start with the pay. It's bad. It's terrible.
According to a recent NAFCA Nippon Film Culture Association survey, animators made on average 1,111 yen, or $7.33. A disgustingly low amount of money for the amount of skill, effort, and time that these people put into their work. The fact that highly skilled people in this industry can't make even something close to a living wage is nothing short of criminal. 3 decades ago, sure, that would be fine pay. But not in the year of 2024 when this survey was taken, and certainly not for a skill such as an animator.
Many animators who are passionate about their craft are forced to quit due to the poor wages. And to make it worse, many companies outsource their work to other countries, only depressing wages even more and basically spitting in the face of Japanese animators. As unfortunate as it is, passion alone doesn't pay the bills. So a lot of these very talented people can't afford to work in such a grueling industry. And because of this, passionate animators are unable to show their skills, and animation is outsourced to cheap overseas labor, resulting in drops in quality and production. Now, pay is a big thing for a lot of people. You can't put bread on the table without making those stacks. But what are the stacks worth if you can't even sit at the table you're providing the bread for?
Overwork, in our opinion, is the largest factor contributing to the problems in the anime industry. Low pay sucks, but you can pick up side gigs to help ease the financial burden. It's not a great solution, but it is a mild solution. Not with overworking. There were only 24 hours in a day. Imagine spending 14 to 16 of those hours stuck in an office working on a deadline due in a few days or even the next morning. There is no time to have a side gig, no time to go out and do something you enjoy, no time to even sit at the dinner table with your family for a meal.
Working these long and grueling hours is taking a very serious toll on animators, and it's causing some very ugly side effects to show themselves in not only the animation industry, but in the entire country of Japan.
I'm sure we all remember the drama surrounding MAPPA Studios about a year ago. This was a prime example of the types of working conditions that many animators face every single day. MAPPA was revered for its exceptional animation quality, probably some of it, if not the best in the business at the time. But we would soon come to find out just how horrible their working conditions were, and unfortunately still are. According to a tweet by a freelance animator by the name of Mushio, MAPPA has continuously overworked their staff, forcing animators to work all night until the sun comes up, and not properly training newer workers before assigning them work. Teruyuki Omine, an episode director for Attack on Titan Season 4, famously tweeted in 2022 that he wasn't able to go home for 3 straight days while working on the show. Top these long hours off with the bare minimum of pay and you have a recipe for disaster. It comes as a surprise to no one that under these conditions people will often crumble under the pressure. And that's just what happened. Many animators went to Twitter to express their feelings towards the company. One even went as far as tweeting, "I want to die quickly."
Enough can't be said for these poor people that face these hardships every day in the industry. To know that these things are going on behind the scenes of something that we all watch and love and enjoy so much is very disheartening. And in a way, it makes me a bit guilty sometimes. Enjoying something that may have caused someone a lot of pain and hardship, it's a bit of a conundrum, isn't it? Before we hold anime's funeral, what about the things that anime is actually improving on? I think we can all agree that animation has made stunning improvements. Now that's not to say that old animation styles weren't bad. They were amazing, and we both love the style dearly. But newer animation does look fantastic, and props to the animators who work on them. That isn't to say some modern animation still can't be bad with the whole CGI debate, which we did make a whole video on CGI, so if you guys are interested in what's going on in that realm, you can check out the link in the description below for more information.
There have been a ton of creative and original series to come out too. Cyberpunk Edgerunner's Summertime Rendering, FRIEREN Beyond Journey's End, and again, you should go check out that FRIEREN video in the link below. But tons of new shows have brought creativity and originality, making the claims we brought up earlier almost seem overblown.
Not to mention new ways to watch anime. Streaming platforms are allowing people to watch hundreds of anime like never before, causing it to go mainstream and blow up in global popularity. Even global collaborations are becoming way more frequent. The CarrierCon event on the aircraft carrier USS Hornet collabs with Azur Lane. HoloLive just did a huge collaboration with the LA Dodgers. Imagine Gouda singing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" in front of thousands of people who have never heard of a VTuber before. Well, you don't have to imagine anymore, because it actually happened. And you know what? They loved it.
Anime isn't declining, and it most certainly is not dying. While the anime industry undoubtedly faces challenges like genre oversaturation and creative burnout, these issues are often overstated, with the exception of workers' rights and treatment. That needs to get fixed ASAP.
The diversity of themes and genres reflects a thriving creative landscape, and audience fatigue is far from universal. Countless people still find excitement in new releases, including us. The anime industry continues to adapt and evolve, and its global appeal is stronger than ever. Instead of focusing solely on its flaws, it's worth appreciating the incredible artistry and passion that keeps anime alive and inspires millions worldwide every day.